Bienvenidos and welcome to another episode of Average Jose's Sports Talk.
Sports Talk.
I'm Jeremiah,
And I'm Cullen.
and we are actually very happy this week because all our teams won and the University of Wyoming is on a bye week. So we are going to have a fun episode. Why? The Bears won.
Yeah, but so did the Broncos.
I was going to say, are you mad that the Broncos also won?
No, they beat the Packers. That's in my division. So.
Right. Either way, dude, you had a great week. I mean, you guys beat the Raiders, someone in our division. So really, we were helping each other out.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
We did what
Anyways,
you do.
I mean, I got stuff to say on that. Anyways, we got, a chill episode for you guys as, like we said, Bears Broncos actually won this week. Top teams are going down. Nothing too crazy going on in college. The WNBA finals wrapped up, and the baseball Super Bowl World Series Cup is on its way. But before we get into...
I like that one.
Thank you. But before we jump into everything, we got to start with a quiz bowl. So for those of you who have never tuned in before, what a quiz bowl is we each ask each other 3 questions, and whoever gets the most right gets to start on team takes, which is actually exciting this week because we do have stuff to talk about. So I think you asked last time.
I don't know.
Well, I can start.
I like that pause.
All right. So, as some of you may know, Thursday, I believe, was National Tight End Day.
Tight ends? Like we tie the ends of stuff?
No, like tight ends.
Like the Titans? Like remember them?
No, like tight ends.
Like
no. But anyways, all 3 of my questions are tight end related to give a shout out to such an unfocused on position in football.
Yeah, super. No one ever talks about them.
Right. And so my first question, who is Travis Kelce dating? I'm just kidding.
Patrick Mahomes.
Wow, never mind. My first question is, who is known as the Bears' best tight end ever?
I don't know if I can legally say his name.
You can just say.
I was gonna say Mike Ditka.
It is Mike Ditka.
But it sounds like a naughty word, so I didn't know if I could say it on our podcast.
Oh, no, you're fine. It's his last name. Yeah, it was Mike Ditka. He was active from 61 to 66, which is honestly kind of crazy that he only played for like 5 years.
He's in Kicking and Screaming with Will Ferrell. He plays the neighbor.
Is he really? I did not know that. I thought I was helping you out.
I love Mike Ditka.
I thought I was helping you out by like giving you a Bears one and maybe having it still be tough, but I guess that
No, that's pretty well known, yeah.
Dang. I knew like Mike Ditka played, and I knew I knew him mainly as like the Bears coach that like revolutionized the Bears, but like I didn't realize that he was a tight end.
Yeah,
and was so famous
huge
for it. Yeah. So yeah, there you go. You got a point right away. Good job.
Thanks. Should I go now?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of how it works.
You didn't signal to me, so
I don't need to.
It'd be nice if you were like, now you ask a question, but whatever. Who is the last team to have an undefeated regular season? There's only been one team that had a full perfect season.
Super Bowl sweep, yeah.
We all know it was the Dolphins, but the last team to have a full undefeated season.
We talked about this like a week or 2 ago on our podcast.
About a week ago.
It was, oh my gosh, who was it? I want to say it was a Tom Brady team. Was it a Tom Brady team?
I cannot tell you.
It was the Patriots.
But what year?
I don't have to tell you the year. You just said what team.
Yeah, but like, if it's just okay, whatever. You got a point.
Was it? I'm trying to think. It was when they lost in the Super Bowl to the Eagles.
Nope.
Who they lose in the Super Bowl to?
The Giants.
Giants. So it was Eli Manning. So it was like 2009?
2007.
7. Dang. I knew it was the Patriots though because I remember we talked about this like a couple weeks ago. Them having a perfect season and then losing in the Super Bowl. That's crazy. To Eli Manning, of all people.
That's a goat right there.
For real. All right. Question number 2. Who was known as the NFL best tight end ever?
Tom Brady. I don't know enough tight ends. I have no idea.
That's totally fair. I knew this one was going to be a tough one. It was Tony Gonzalez.
Wouldn't have even been a name in my brain.
He played for the Chiefs 97 to 2008 and then the Falcons 2009 to 2013, which that's when I knew him was when he was on the Falcons. In his career, he played 270 games for 1,325 catches for 15,000 yards and 111 touchdowns.
It's not even that good.
On this
Like
list, dude,
basic stats.
Gronkowski's number 3. Bro, Gronkowski had 9,000 yards in his career for 600 catches.
That's worse.
Yeah, Tony Gonzalez. Number 2 is Antonio Gates with 955 catches. So, I mean, to be
A
fair,
lot. Wow.
Tony Gonzalez played 270 games. Gronkowski played 143.
Yeah, that'll do it.
But Travis Kelce started in 2013, and so far he's at 800 catches with 10,344 yards and 69 touchdowns.
Nice.
I don't know when this was last updated, so I don't know like how much that's increased. But I mean, he's what 10,344. He's about 5,000 yards away from catching Tony Gonzalez. I feel like we could by the end of Travis Kelce's career, I think we could see him at the top of this list easily.
You think he's doing that this season?
Hmm. Huh. Let me think.
It's like that Broncos one, and it was like
Yeah,
if he
it's
gets
like
7,600 yards in
this
this
one
game,
or whatever. They're like they have the confetti on standby in case it happens. I don't. That's it. Yeah, I don't know like what the most yards by a single player in a game is. It's got to be from the quarterback position. I feel like, but if you look at I guess like personal yards that they themselves ran, I don't even. Yeah, it's easily only a couple hundred.
yeah, it's probably not even close to 5,000.
No, yeah, I was not betting that it was close to 5,000. That's
Well,
for
you
sure.
start. That's what we were talking about, and you're like,
No,
I
yeah.
mean, it's probably like a couple hundred.
Well, no,
Like,
I'm just curious. Like, I'm
obviously.
just curious, like, what that, yeah, like, what's the most on this book? Anyways,
See, I like that. That was nice. It's a silly little thing. Which NFL team has the largest stadium?
I feel like I just heard this one.
Or what is the largest stadium if you don't know the team?
A football stadium?
NFL.
It's a football type of stadium, or is like the type of stadium it is, like architecturally speaking.
Yeah, it's like shaped like an NFL.
But is that what you're asking? What's the biggest architectural stadium?
No, largest capacity,
Oval.
my bad. What?
Like the
Expecting
shape
you
of
to
the
say like
largest
square
stadium.
footage or something, not a shape.
Shoot, I don't know, dude. Let's go with. I'm trying to think. Nebraska Cornhuskers. They do have a big stadium. I don't know. Lambeau Field, the Packers.
Nope. You're trash at this.
Whoa,
They
stop.
actually have the second largest.
Oh, dang. Who's number one?
It's MetLife Stadium, played
Is it the
in by
Giants?
the New York Giants and the New
I
York
was
Jets.
literally saying the Giants in my head, and I was like, no, it's not the Giants. I'm just thinking that because the word is giant. Oh my gosh. I'm so mad.
The word wasn't giant; it was largest. They have
Dude,
like an
I'm
extra
so pissed.
1,000 on Lambeau.
Yeah, but I bet you could fit those 1,000 people. They just wouldn't be sitting.
Well, yeah, because I
So
saw
I'm
something. It was
kind of
like
right.
technically AT&T Stadium is the largest, technically, because their
Oh,
max.
size wise.
No, their max is like 100,000, but
Dang.
their written capacity is only like 80 or
It's
something.
only 10 people.
So they can
Dang, I was thinking that it was
hold
going to be the
more,
Giants
but
too.
it's based off of their like what capacity is written down.
What, like, is legal?
What they can legally put and what they do put is different things.
Dang, I'm so mad at myself I didn't say the Giants too. Dang.
I'm happy you didn't.
Right. Okay. Last question. When was the tight end position as we know it today invented?
1975.
No. You want another guess?
No, I have no idea.
1961 when Mike Ditka was drafted.
If I did say another guess, it was going to be 1960. So I mean, it would have been wrong, but it would
Dang.
have been 1 year
That would have
off.
been crazy close though. Yeah, so Mike Ditka is known as like creating the tight end position as we know today because prior to this, tight ends were just a blocker on like the right or left side, depending on where they had him line up. Um, but then with Mike Ditka, they started like actually passing to him. And it's kind of funny. He retired with 427 catches, which put him in like the Hall of Fame because those were Hall of Fame numbers for tight ends at the time.
I mean, it's
Nowadays, like,
revolutionary.
oh yeah, like nowadays, like if you get like 500 catches in your career, you're known as like a decent tight end. Like you had a good career. But like now, like back then, like you did that, and they're like, oh my,
What the hell?
427. Like so, yeah. Prior to that, they never passed to him. They just used him as a blocker. And then because Mike Ditka was so huge and could catch the ball, they were like, what if we gave this behemoth of a man the ball and let him run with it? And the teams just didn't know what to do because they had
That
this
was in
like
the 60s, so like he
yeah.
gets that ball, he's like punching someone in the head and like throwing a foot
Knocking
through
them
someone's
out.
chest. Like
Oh my
they were
gosh. How tall
rough
was
back
Mike
then.
Ditka? Let's see, Mike Ditka's size, not so's size.
So
19. He was 6'3", 228 pounds in 1961, I believe.
yeah, that man could run you over.
Yeah, that's terrifying, dude. That's insane. Oh
That's
my
the first
gosh.
time you've ever had to play against that. Like
Yeah, 43 touchdowns and 5,800 yards in his career. That's it.
it's honestly pretty good, especially with his career being so short.
I know for 5 years. He only played 5 years, which is the weirdest thing.
So imagine he does even just double that if he just
Hmm.
played a 10-year career.
Bro, he
That
put
would
up 50.
legit be like Travis Kelsey numbers.
Oh, easily, yeah. His rookie season, he had 56 catches for 1,076 yards and 12 touchdowns.
Yeah, bro's different. I mean, it makes sense. They didn't know how to stop it yet. Like they didn't have the
Yeah.
seasons to build and be like, well, we got to put someone else to block this guy.
What's so funny is probably by the time they figured out how to like guard tight ends, he retired. They're like, "Well, what the heck?
We did this because of you.
Like what? Like we legit game planned everything, created new positions for like defensive ends to guard this, and all of a sudden Mike Jenkins just like, all right." I think that's just the funniest thing. This dude goes hard for 5 years, and then once they're just like, "All right, this year we got him. We'll definitely stop him this year. Mike Ditka's not doing anything to us." It's like Mike Ditka retires. You're just like, what?
It's really not doing anything.
Yeah, crazy. All right, we're tied 1-1. Give me that last one.
All right, you're not going to get it though.
The Jets.
I think I asked this exact one last week. I
Oh.
was kind of half asleep when I picked this. I just looked at it and I was like, "What the hell?
LSU
What is
versus
the
Missouri.
oldest NFL stadium?" What did you just say? Pillsbury?
LSU versus Missouri. They left it on the script. I don't think you asked the oldest stadium, did you? Oh, you did. Yeah, it's the Packers.
Cool. So you still don't get it. Soldier Field, the Bears Stadium.
Oh my gosh, I said the Packers last time. That's
The
what it
stadium was
was.
built in 1926, but
That's
the
what it
Bears did not
was.
make it their home until
Oh,
1971. So Mike Ditka wasn't even playing there during his time. The stadium was
that's
mainly
so
used
funny.
for charity games and the occasional clash between the Cardinals and Bears. I think when I screenshot this, I was doing the smallest stadium in my mind,
Mm.
which is also Soldier Field,
We also just talk
but
about how they're like, this field is special. We will only use it for cancer awareness and when the Bears play the Cardinals. Like, if you were to be like, what team did the Bears only play on this field because it was special? I'd be
you
like,
said
oh,
Packers
like
again.
someone from Packers, like, someone from their division, probably the Packers, like that's a rivalry or something. And you're just like, no, it's actually the Swedish fishmen that they it's just like the most random like no, believe it or not, they played the Jets only on this field for some reason. That's crazy though. So where did Mike Ditka play? Just someone's backyard?
I have no idea. Yeah,
If
I
they
don't
had
know
a
where they played because they've been a team since 1919. So I
hmm.
don't know where they played until 1971.
Could you imagine like they build that stadium and you're like on the team and you're like they're like, yeah, we got this revolutionary stadium. It's going to house hundreds of thousands of people, vendors everywhere, the nicest field you can ever imagine. And players are like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so fun to play on. And they're like, no, you guys aren't playing on this. This
No,
is
you're
this
not.
is for like charity offenses. So you guys got to still play like over at Johnson. You guys are still
You
on the
guys can
practice
only
field.
play on the frozen Lake Michigan. Like,
And
I
then
don't
they're
know
like,
what
come
Great
on,
Lake is
coach,
right
let us
there.
Lake Michigan. They're just like, come on, coach, let us play. And they're like, all right, fine. We'll use it against the Cardinals.
Well, because at the time the Cardinals were still in Chicago, so
Right.
it was the only place for two Chicago teams to play
I was
at
gonna
the
say, was
same
there a
time.
time where, yeah, that's crazy. So there was a time where Chicago had two NFL teams.
Yeah, the Cardinals didn't move to St. Louis until 1960,
Dang,
and then
it's
they
because
were the
Mike
St.
Ditka was
Louis
on his way.
Cardinals. They were the St. Louis Cardinals until 1988.
Wow, I
They didn't
love looking at
become
like the history of
Arizona until
teams like
88.
changing and stuff, especially like with the NBA because I think like the Charlotte Hornets used to be in New Orleans, and then Katrina happened, so they left. Which you'd think that the worst thing Katrina did was ruin Louisiana, but really it took out an NBA team. So then they moved, and then New Orleans like finally like recovered and was able to house an NBA team again. So then the Pelicans were created, while the Hornets stayed in like North Carolina. So yeah, I just love looking at like the history of teams because you're just like, wait, at one point the Broncos used to be the Patriots. What? Like it's always the
That's
most
my
random
craziest
stuff.
thing is it's like it's not even most of the time like, oh, a new team was invented. It's like this team changed their name and then another team came in and just took the last one's name.
Yeah, it's
I'm
like
like, why?
I mean, with like what 32 teams, like you definitely run out of names after a little bit. You would
Nah.
think,
You
but I
got
guess like
like Spartans, you got like
Spartans, Knights, like you
Condom
definitely have like
Breakers.
what the heck? And now, welcome out, your Wyoming condom breakers. Gosh, that'd be insane. That would be Wyoming's NFL team.
I'd be fine with it. Some
What's
giant ass dudes come out.
What's crazy is like Wyoming. like everyone's always like, no, there's not enough people in Wyoming for an NFL team. Da, 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 da. Nah, bro. If you place that stadium in the middle of the state, guarantee everyone's coming from every corner to watch a game there. Like, if you have the space to do it, and like if everyone
Probably
in
in
Wyoming,
Laramie.
yeah, like if everyone showed up, dude, like you'd fill that stadium so quickly. Especially
Well,
because what you
plus if
said,
they're
like
playing other teams
you
and
said, like
like Denver,
right if they're coming up and stuff. You said 100,000 was like the capacity for like the largest stadium or whatever, roughly,
not officially, but
but roughly
82.5 is the capacity of MetLife.
82.5. So that's not even 100,000. So legit, if you built a stadium even like smaller than that, because it doesn't even have to match that, then you only need like 20% of the state to show up to a game, which would happen so easily. You know, nah,
I
I
mean, yeah,
think
I mean the way we show up to a Laramie game.
yeah, we fill out Laramie like week in and week out, and that's for a team that we know for a fact is not going to be fun to watch sometimes. Like we've had state we've had like years where we go completely defeated, don't win a single game, and that stadium's full day in and day out with standing room only. Like, yeah, I think we could
We
easily
should
house an
petition
NFL
for
team.
it.
We should. I think this is the start of it. So if you guys are listening to this, you're a part of something historic. On
Getting a Wyoming
October
team.
24th, 2023, this is the start. Could you imagine if we become like the owners? We're just running an NFL team,
Yeah, you
just
have to have
running it
money
out
for
our
that.
butt. Yeah, we'd have to get investors, but I feel like also Jackson like has a lot of money, so I bet we could get a lot of investors out of there.
We could go petition in Jackson to get investors from it.
What would we call the team?
The
Wyoming
Jackson Five.
Cowboys.
Because
No, yours is
we'll have
better.
5 investors from Jackson.
Our mascot's just someone wearing a suit of the number 5.
Oh, I was gonna say like Michael Jackson or something.
Oh wow, I mean,
We could
yeah,
use
that
his
can work too.
likeness.
All right. Well, it was a tie on Quiz Bowl, but since I was super stupid about that last question, you can go first. So tell me about the Bears versus Raiders.
Since I said the exact same thing I said last week. All right, so the Bears and Raiders played. Like I called it last week, the Bears won. I know everyone's not surprised. It was backup
I am.
quarterback versus backup quarterback.
Versus backup quarterback versus backup quarterback. If you look at the sheet
I
there, I've
forgot
got
Brian
4
Hoyer went out. Yeah,
quarterbacks. Yeah.
Nathan Peterman doesn't really count. He came in for the last snap before the
I
like
put that
end
in
of the
because
half.
we've always talked about, I've never seen a QBR of 8. I've never seen one of 10. This one's a 1.6 because he took one snap and got sacked.
Surprised it's not 0. Tyson
That's the
Bagent though,
funniest thing. Is that how you
21 of
say it? Bayesian?
29. Pretty sure.
Okay, I
21
was
of
wondering.
29, 162 yards, so kind of ass. 1 touchdown, only 1 sack, which is
With
pretty good.
Crosby coming at him is, yeah.
Yeah,
And
against
probably one of like
Crosby.
the worst offensive lines the Bears have
Only a
had in a while.
70.3 QBR. I'm not really sure how. Maybe just
I
like
wonder if
low
it's
yardage
the,
per attempt.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Also, I don't know if you saw this. He invited his entire family. There
Oh,
was 53 people that he brought. 53 people came just to see Tyson Bagent play, and he paid for every ticket himself, probably.
he does look like he comes from one of those families with like 12 siblings and like, you know.
He also had his lady there, as he said.
Oh, good for him.
Brian Hoyer, the like 12-year veteran or something.
30
He's been
year
playing for a
old.
while. 17 of 32 for 129 yards, 2 interceptions. I know at least one of those being a pick six.
Dang.
And then Aiden O'Connell, 10 of 13, 75 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Tyson Bagent made these dudes look like they've never played football before, and that was his first
Yeah.
NFL game.
Well, I guess that's one thing. It was like, this is the first time the Bears have had this is the first time that for the Bears, for a quarterback's first start in the NFL, he's won the game since like 2006, 2004, I think. Um, which like you're like, oh, like that's not that impressive. They've probably had like what, two starting quarterbacks since 2006, but everyone knows with the Bears, it's about 30 since
It's
2006.
29. It's not 30.
Sorry, let's fingers crossed. Tyson Bagent gets hurt this week, and Nathan Peterman has to start the next week to get to 30.
I think he's already started before.
Oh, has he?
I want to say.
No, I mean, yeah, this was an insane showing from Tyson Bagent. So it's looking like Fields is going to be out against the Chargers next week. So two questions:
Don't say that.
How are you feeling about Tyson Bagent against the Chargers? I mean, like we've said, Chargers defense is not the best when it comes to especially pass defense. But so there's that. Also, do you think Fields is really at risk now for losing not only a starting position but just getting traded?
No. I think Fields is the answer. I think what's crazy, okay? Everyone's going to say Fields is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Tyson Bagent is like way better. If you noticed, we would get like in the red zone or like, moving downfield. With Justin Fields, we get in the red zone, they're like, okay, we're going to do a screen pass and then a screen pass and then a screen pass, and now we have to do a field goal because we didn't
I'm
get
like,
there.
Justin Fields, what are you doing? Come on, man.
And then
This is an easy pass. It's a screen pass, dog. Like, come on.
or it'll be like first and goal, and we'll like run up the middle, run up the middle, run up the middle, run up the middle, run up the middle. Never get there because we're just running into all these blockers. But with Tyson Bagent, they're like, yeah, we're gonna throw it to like the corner. We're gonna run it on the outside. We are gonna do a screen pass, but we're gonna reverse it and do something cool there. They were giving him like actual plays. I'm like, this guy's a
Yeah.
rookie who we don't even know if he can use his feet like Fields can. Fields, you're giving him the same two plays, and everyone knows exactly what's happening because you're doing the exact same two plays.
Well, yeah, was it like the Jets
Also,
game or whatever? When they're like, yeah, they ran that screenplay 5 times in a row, so we knew
oh yeah,
exactly where the ball was
he's like, we knew
going.
exactly what was going on. Yeah, I hate that. But also, the line was blocking it. The line was able to. Not only were they blocking, they were able to just break down Crosby, who's arguably one of the
One of the
best
best pass
DNs
rushers.
in the
Yeah.
league. Like, we're able to stop that guy, but on a basic week when we're playing like a basic team, we can't stop their line.
Do you
We
think?
can
Do you think?
only block for this rookie quarterback, but we can't
Do
block
you
for
think?
Justin Fields.
Do you think in the huddle, Tyson Bagent was like, "Hey guys, my whole family's here. Could you? It'd be great. Could you guys block? It'd be really nice if you guys could like block. My
Hey, I
family's here."
invited 53 people to this game. Can you not make me look like I suck?
And then Fields is like, "All right, guys, let's go win a game." And they're like, "Who's this bum?" Yeah, that is crazy though that they did all that for Bagent. So that being said, then do you think that like it seems like they're okay? So there's two ways to look at it. Do you think that they're hooking Tyson Bagent up with like real play calls and stuff because they're starting to favor him more from especially like this one game, or do you think this is just like that the front office as a whole, the coaching staff as a whole, is making this transition to better play calls and stuff, and it just so happened to be the week that Justin Fields didn't play?
I feel like they just did it because they don't know what Bajan can do. Like, that's his first
Mm,
NFL game. Fields are very like, oh, he can run, so we'll just do something where if he can't get the ball out to the
yeah.
sideline, he can run.
But then he
It's
runs
like,
and they're
no,
like,
just
"Stop running.
you
Stop it."
suck. You're not good at it. Don't do it. And I'm like, what do you want him to do? Like, no, I
I
hate our top office.
like I was telling you the other day, I really like what they're doing with Lamar Jackson against the Lions. Of if the pocket collapses, he scrambles out, but then he still like stops and like continues to scan, and then will take off if he needs to. And I think that's just what a lot of like running quarterbacks need to do. Is like just because the pocket collapses doesn't mean all right, well, play's done. I'm going to run. It's pocket collapses. I'm going to roll out, become a threat on the outside to force all those linebackers in like zone coverage to suck in more because I could run that. And then if they don't, it just becomes a QB read at that point where it's like, all right, I'm going to read the linebackers. If they're going to sit back in coverage, boom, I can run that for 5-10 yards easy. Or if I'm going to roll out and they're going to get scared of me doing that and they start to come in, now I've got middle of the field wide open because the whole coverage shifted over with me. So I don't know if like that's something that Lamar Jackson was just like, I'm going to be more patient on my like rollouts and scrambles, or if like the coaching staff was like, hey, like what if we tried this where you do like you wait a little bit longer. But I think that's exactly what Justin Fields needs to be doing is okay, roll out of the pocket, get out of like that sack territory, and then read the field one more time and then make your decision. Because he's
Yeah, I
got the
really
speed.
hope
We've
he was
seen him.
watching that game or like
Yeah.
is analyzing it at home right now and is like, "Oh, okay."
Because I mean, like he's got the speed to run like a 70-yard touchdown. We've seen that before. So there's no doubt that he could do that. It's just if he can start to do that, then not only will that like make defenses respect like his passing more, but now like as they respect the passing more and have to sit in coverage, now he has more space to start his run. And we know that when Justin Fields gets up to speed, he is insane.
Yeah.
So it's
But the Bears
looking
are
like he's
also
out.
2-1 since Chase Claypool's gone, so that
I've
could
seen
also
that
be the
too.
solution.
What was the one? Did I send it to you? Where it was like they're two and
Yeah.
one since Claypool. The Steelers are like 16-3 since Claypool or whatever. And
Dolphins are
then
0
the
and 1,
Dolphins.
11 and 4 for the Steelers.
Yeah, that's insane, dude. Like Chase Claypool. I've never seen such a problematic player in the NFL.
That's why I
I
hate
don't
him
even know. I don't even know. Like, I could not tell you specifically what he does that causes teams to lose. I guess like besides not playing.
on the field.
Yeah, he's in the huddle, just like chewing gum and not listening to play calls and stuff.
The way he plays, it looks like he doesn't know what the play call is.
It'd be
Which
so
is
funny if they
funny.
just got to the point where they're just like, "All right, don't even join the huddle. Just go line up like in your
Line up
position.
wherever
We'll
you
we'll
want. I
meet you
mean,
there." They're saying we legally have to have 11 players on the field, so you just do whatever you want, and we'll just play with 10.
we'll try to work around you. But then he'd get in the middle of the way or not hold a block, and then it would cause them to lose to the
They
Packers game
snap the ball
one.
and he turns and sacks Tua, and they're like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "You guys said I could do whatever I want. I haven't hit someone yet today."
I haven't hit anyone, dog. I'm always on
Like you're a
offense.
receiver.
You don't
But
hit
then
anyone.
they put him at like DB or like defensive end, and he'd be like, "I don't really like this."
I don't want to hit someone every time. I just wanted to do it that once.
He's the kid that's like picking like daisies in the back in the outfield of like the baseball game when like a pop fly is coming right at him. Oh my goodness. Well, Bears had a solid game against the Raiders. Chargers next week. I think that yeah, if the Bears do this again, I think that could be a really fun game to watch.
Yeah, I think the
Um,
Bears have a shot of winning if they just want to play football.
Shot at the Super
And
Bowl,
their
baby.
defense was playing like
Defense was cracked out for
stellar. They
sure.
had like 3 interceptions.
They're gonna need that. I mean, it was against like a couple backups, but still impressive. They're gonna need that against the Chargers for sure, though. But University of Wyoming had a bye week this week, so not much to talk about there. So much like the Bears winning this week, the Broncos also got a win this week because we can't let you
Wilson
guys
did terrible.
have all the fun. Yeah, no, this is what I'm saying. So, guys, I got to talk about it. So, the Broncos beat the Packers 19-17, right? Which is like, cool, we beat the Packers, whatever. We got to win 2-5.
Barely.
Yay. Woohoo. 2-5. Um,
2-5.
the thing is like this week and like last week against the Chiefs, our defense showed up. We were forcing teams to, settle for field goals. We were holding them like pretty low scoring. Like I think the Broncos ended up scoring. Yeah, Love threw 2 touchdowns there. Um, but like that's it. Like you would think like, oh, Love threw 2 touchdowns. Like they probably put up like 20 something on Broncos. But like Broncos defense actually held them pretty well. I mean, held them to under 200 yards with 21 completions and got an interception. I believe that interception was the one that sealed the game. But the issue is our offense isn't performing like they were at the start of the season. I mean, Russell Wilson was having like 200, 300-yard games with like a couple touchdowns. Like, yeah, he would throw an interception or two and like whatever. But I mean, there was a point in the season where like Russell Wilson had better stats than Patrick Mahomes. Like, he had more yards, he had one more touchdown, and like one less interception, right?
It's
Which
probably why
like
Patrick Mahomes played so well this week. He had to
he's like
change. He saw all the memes and stuff and had to
he
change
no, he
that.
listened to our podcast. Um,
Probably did.
but so like the thing is like if we can ever get to a point where our defense will get those stops, and then our offense will like do something with those 3-and-outs and stuff, dude, like we could easily be running through teams. And I just don't know what like the disconnect is between the two, like why it's like, all right, it's a defense week, so offense, you guys aren't going to do too much this week. It's like, I don't know, but it was nice to see that like Packers had a game-winning drive and threw an interception to like seal it. Because I was like, hey, we're on the other side of it this week. Is this what other teams feel like against us?
Is this what it's like to do okay?
So I don't know. We have the Chiefs coming up next week, and
Again.
I'm thinking that we have a chance to beat them. We just it's so frustrating because it's just like I know that they're capable of putting up like those yards and numbers and stuff. Um, they just don't want to do it, and so
I'm
I'm
gonna make a
excited
bet for Patrick Mahomes, 4 touchdowns, 400 yards.
That's probably what it'll be, honestly. If you do that, then make a bet for Russell Wilson 3 touchdowns, 300 yards. Because if Chiefs offense is doing that, then our defense sucks, which means it's an offensive week, and Russell Wilson's going to be putting up numbers. But
It's the Broncos, buddy.
stop! I don't do that about your team.
You do.
Hey,
But it's also KC, and they barely got the win against Denver last time, so they're probably gonna like step it up hard for that.
yeah, that's what you would think. But I mean, I don't know. The Bears are the Bears. The Bears are coming off a Raiders win, so I think the Broncos can.
So I think the Broncos have a good chance.
But like, so you have to look like the Broncos lost to the Chiefs, and then beat the Packers, but they barely lost to the Chiefs. It was a close game. And so I'm hoping that they're coming into this new Chiefs game just being like, we had a chance at the Chiefs, could have beat them, did beat the Packers. Yeah, the Packers aren't like sauce this year, but like the Broncos showed that like they can play defense. And so I think like I'm hoping that coming into the Chiefs game, they're just like, we could actually beat the Chiefs. I mean, we have a chance. So I don't know. Or Chris Jones or whatever is just going to absolutely murder Russell Wilson, and we'll have to use a backup quarterback.
He's gonna have like 6 sacks.
It could be very gross. I think it's either going to be a very close game or the Chiefs are going to win by like 40. So there's no.
That feels more likely to me.
But hey, man, University of Oregon also won against Washington State. Beat Washington State 38-24, which I believe moved Oregon up to like number 8, I want to say, on the AP polls. Bo Nix had a pretty average game for himself of about 300 yards and 2 touchdowns.
How did Washington lose that game?
Right? Cameron Ward put up 438 yards and a touchdown. Yeah, I don't know.
34 of 48.
And Bo Nix went 18 for 25, which I think is insane to throw 300 yards with only 18 completions. But yeah, Oregon coming off that loss against Washington, I had a feeling that they were going to go hard against Washington State. It was a bit closer than I was hoping.
Get really hard.
Some news around the world. No, they stepped it up against Washington State, which I'm glad. I mean, I don't think Washington State's ranked. I don't remember, but they might be. They might be low ranked. Maybe not after this loss. Who knows?
Maybe not after this week, though.
Yeah, they're not in the polls now, so maybe they were before. But who knows? Oh my gosh, are you good? You're stimming hard.
No, I have a tummy ache.
Oh, buddy. So Oregon won. They still have a chance at the championship, but I mean those top four teams are holding their spots really well. So I don't know if anyone's breaking into there.
Hold it.
But yeah. So moving on, we're moving on to some news around the world.
News. Need a soundboard.
I know. Do you want college or NFL?
I didn't watch any college this week, so it'd feel wrong to do college.
All right, so NFL. I didn't either.
You watched more than I did.
I didn't. Ohio State versus Penn State. Ohio won this 20-12, which means they're holding in at number 3, and Penn State dropped to number 10. Kind of an insane game. Both teams had under 100 rushing yards and under 400 total yards.
Light day.
It was legit just a field goal game, which makes sense because both these teams are purely defensive this season. Like they're two of the top defenses.
Wasn't this the game of the week for college?
I think it was. I don't know what other game would have been. So
I'm
probably.
pretty sure Penn State had like a big like they were supposed to win by like 7 or something.
I was hoping they would, and they were holding on for quite a bit, but Ohio State ended up running away. So Penn State loses, which this was Ohio State's, I want to say, toughest opponent. Yeah, unless you consider Notre Dame a tougher one than Penn State, I guess. But either way, Ohio State
in the last minute for that.
True. Ohio State's really proven themselves this season, which could be dangerous for Florida State, Michigan, and Georgia. I don't want to see
it all.
Okay, I don't want to see that. Is what I was about to say. So, thank you.
Okay. So it only matters if it's your team. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another big game we had this weekend was LSU versus Missouri. Just kidding. That was from the script last week. From the script last week where I forgot to take it out. I was just gonna talk about that game week in and week out.
You should.
No, I actually changed it this week. We have Virginia versus North Carolina. Virginia beat North Carolina 31-27, which dropped North Carolina 7 spots to number 17, and Virginia didn't get any votes for the AP poll.
Heck yeah.
They beat a number 10 team and didn't get a single vote.
That just feels rude.
That's just insane, dude. Like Wyoming got votes after beating a number 24 team.
Yeah, but I mean, at that point, we did fairly decent against Texas.
And I guess we had 1 loss against Texas, yeah. And so, I mean, yeah.
We were like kind of killing teams.
I just think it's crazy that not a single vote. That's just nuts. But Drake May for North Carolina, who's a big quarterback, so people are talking about, still had a solid game, 347 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Not solid enough.
I was looking up what are like some like mock draft stuff for next year, and apparently the Broncos mock draft is to draft Drake May at like number 10 or something, or like number 4. Which I was like, out of everyone in this draft, Drake May is the quarterback we go for, and why are we going for a quarterback? So,
yeah, yours is like old and
stop.
I know you're not a Russ fan.
He's what's the thing where he's like Mr. Oh crap. What is
Unstoppable, isn't it?
Was it Unstoppable? No, I don't think it was Unstoppable. Well, now I gotta look it up.
I'm pretty sure it was Mr. Unstoppable. Or Improbable or something.
I think it was something like Probable. It was something goofy. Unstoppable, I'd been like, it's goofy, but not that goofy. Let's see. Mr. Unlimited.
Unlimited.
Unlimited. Because the way he said it, like Mr. Unstoppable, like I don't know, but unlimited. They'd be like, "Who's your inspiration, Russ?" Mr. Unlimited. Who do you go to for advice, Russ? Mr. Unlimited. So, yeah, I'm a Mr. Unlimited fan day in and day out, okay? We don't
Nah,
need
I
anyone.
hated that entire video.
So Drake May, I mean, still lost, but still had a good game. So I'm sure teams are still
At
looking
least
at
your
him.
team's not looking at drafting Aaron Allen from like nowhere and
That was
it's like rank
insane.
1,000 or something.
We're like, who are you guys looking to draft? You guys get the number one pick. We're looking at Aaron Allen from Laramie County Community College. Like, what?
Yeah, he's
That
a
was
sleeper pick. It's whatever.
He's a sleeper pick. He has a perfect passer rating. He's 1 for 1 for 2 yards. 100% QBR. It's like, what? He was at my family backyard barbecue. Played some pickup football with him. He's pretty good.
It's pretty insane, the spiral that he threw me on the one pass.
I think a lot of people are going to overlook him. Like,
He's
it's
legit
like,
ranked like 863rd or
it's
something.
like 866 or something. Yeah. Legit, this is probably one of the best quarterback classes we have coming to the draft in like a
In a
while. Like,
while.
just so many quarterbacks to choose from. And they legit said with the top 2 picks possibly in the draft, Aaron Allen. Like, I get being like, all right, we got the top 2 picks, so one of them we could do something kind of risky because we're gonna get like an actual pick after that. But like something risky would be like, all right, we're gonna take like a really good like left tackle, number 1 or something, right? Something risky isn't taking a quarterback who's played 1 game and it was, at his mom's work barbecue. So that was insane, dude. I am so excited for this draft
If
now.
this is the right Aaron Allen, he plays for Alcorn State
Yep,
Braves.
Alcorn State. That was the school.
He has 9 touchdowns total, 2 interceptions, only 1,378 yards.
That's crazy, dude. That's insane. Yeah. I don't even know how they found him. Like,
He's been in college, I think that might be his high school. No, Louisiana Tech. He's been in college since 2018. This is his 5th year in college. He played.
and those are his stats.
I guess this is his 6th year. He played 4 years at Louisiana Tech, 2 at Alcorn, and he has his completion percentage is decent, 65.9%.
Yeah, I knew his completion was like 60%.
Yeah, I don't know why you would want to draft this man.
What's insane is like they legit could take him at the end of the draft and he would still be there.
They could take him next year's draft and probably still be there.
Like, I don't know. They could probably pick him up as a free agent and not even use a draft pick. Like, I don't know why they're going to use one of their top 3 draft picks on that. That's insane to me, dude. Like, I get being like, oh, Caleb Williams could be like problematic and Shadur Sanders could be, problematic. But it's like, okay, that's fine. Those are 2 quarterbacks that like you don't want. What about like if Penix goes or Bo Nix goes or Drake May goes or like, like there's a few other quarterbacks besides like these 2. Or it's like,
Or Peasley goes.
what if you guys, but what if you guys got like, some defensive players to like help round out your defense, or what you like? You don't have to get a quarterback. It's not required to get a quarterback in the first round.
We've literally got so many quarterbacks every single draft. I mean, Bajent was picked up last season. Fields was drafted only 3 seasons ago. I'm sure we got one 2 drafts ago.
I
Knowing
wonder if
us, like
seeing how Bajent did might change that though, where they're like, oh, we actually do have a pretty solid like backup quarterback. We don't really need a third quarterback.
unless they're trying to get a quarterback to start, and they don't think that Bajent or Fields can do it.
What would you do if Aaron Allen gets drafted and starts next season?
I don't know if I could be a Bears fan. I don't know if I can be a Bears fan if they just get rid of Justin Fields.
Even if they just drafted Aaron Allen, I don't know if you could be one. Gosh, but yeah. And then last college game we're going to talk about here is Utah versus USC. huge game. Utah won 34-32. USC dropped 6 spots to number 24. They're on the edge of being kicked out. Could you imagine if like Wyoming wins next week and takes USC's spot? I mean, insane.
I would love
Uh,
that.
and Utah moved up, I believe, just 1 spot to number 13. Caleb Williams, another struggling week, 24 of 34, 256 yards and no touchdowns. Is Caleb Williams done for this season? Like,
I told you he's trash.
things circulating where it's like he should just take the rest of the season off. But even if he keeps playing, do we see like some sort of comeback for him, or is this like the end of USC season?
Hope it's the end. I hate all the hype around them.
Yeah, it's funny
Trash.
because the more that like his agent or like his dad or whoever's like representing him are like, and then if he gets drafted, he wants stock in the team, and then
The
if he
more they
gets
say he worse, he
the
does.
more the more they like demand of whoever drafts him, the worse he's doing. It's insane. And so I don't know if like there, because I noticed one thing. It was like, dang, Caleb Williams started like doing reverse or started like doing trash just to like not get drafted by the Bears and Broncos or
Yeah.
something. I was like, I wonder if like they're making these demands so like a team doesn't pick him up and then he can just go free agent and gets like on the team that he wants or whatever. But I thought that was so funny. They're just like, and whoever drafts him, he wants 51% shares of the company, and
He
then
wants
and
100%
then
share of the
lost to
company.
Utah and didn't throw 100 yards, and and then the week before that, like lost to who they lose to? Oh, it was a big loss.
Yeah.
And threw like under 200 yards, like an interception, like had an even worse week. So I don't know, bro. Bro starting one Wendy's commercial thinks he's all that.
Yeah, I don't care for him.
But anyways,
I
those are
don't
some
want
top.
him to be drafted by the Bears either. So.
What if they use their top 2 picks to get Caleb Williams and then Aaron Allen?
If we don't get Marvin Harrison Jr., I'll be pissed.
What if they do that and then trade out Fields and Bajent?
I'd be pissed.
Yeah, Marvin Harrison would be a huge pickup for you guys. That would be kind of crazy.
Just another elite wide receiver to have.
Yeah, or get Chase Claypool back. But anyways,
I would rather die.
talk to me about these NFL games.
All right, 49ers Vikings. I called it from the beginning, okay?
Crazy game.
I called it. 49ers suck. Fake team.
Whoa, Cowboy. I've got about
Called
half their
it.
team on my fantasy, so you better chill.
And that's why you lost this week. So
Hey, their defense
yeah.
ended up with 0, not -2, so I'm happy.
You're happy that your defense got 0 points
When the other option's
against the
negative
Vikings?
points, when the other option's negative points,
No, the other option was like positive points because they played the Vikings.
there's never an option.
That's what I thought was going to happen going into it. Yeah, I mean they're just Purdy's like getting exposed.
Pretty terrible.
True, he was getting like talked up so much last season, the start of this season.
Yeah.
But unless he's like doing a little check down pass and it's being taken for a touchdown, he's not doing anything. Like,
Well, that's that one thing where it was like Brock Purdy when his screens to McCaffrey aren't going for 40+ yards.
yeah,
Like,
and a touchdown.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. This is
Kirk Cousins.
I'm pretty sure this is
though.
the McCaffrey stat I hear. I think that's only rushing yards. I don't think it's receiving.
Well, yeah, because he had a 60-yard touchdown.
Yeah, 45 rushing, 51 receiving. My bad.
Didn't he have a 60-yard? Oh no, I was thinking of the insane catch from what's his face on the Vikings.
Justin Jefferson?
Nope, he was out. But Cousins had a great game. 35
Yeah.
45.
A crazy
378 yards. I was so upset. He was 22 yards away from getting 400, which is the next. That's the point threshold in our league to get the extra points. I was already winning by so much, but it would have been nice to see like over 170 points in fantasy. Two
Yeah.
touchdowns, one interception, but I
Which is
mean, no
Kirk
one's
Cousins in prime time.
perfect.
Should have been two
Yeah, that was
interceptions. It should have been two.
prime Cousins. I
Yeah.
know that second interception was 60-yard
It's a
touchdown.
touchdown. um, do you think that the Vikings did anything special against the 49ers that like
Played.
but like do you think they did anything where it's like cool, like they're figuring out their system moving forward, we could see the Vikings make a really good run, or do you think they were just like, we had a good game against the 49ers and the 49ers were bad?
Yeah, I think they finally played again. That's what they were lacking every single week. Every week I'd be like, you guys know you're in a game, right? Like this isn't just like a scrimmage.
Yeah.
Like they finally actually decided to play football today. Um, Cousins was able to pass to Addison, I want to say his name was,
Mm.
and use Hawkinson. The last few weeks he hasn't been using Hawkinson at all. He finally uses someone other than Justin Jefferson, uses Hawkinson, Addison, and look at that. They beat the 49ers, who has one of the best defenses in the league, unless you start them. Almost puts up 400 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like they actually played the game and used their
Yeah.
weapons, and they were able to actually play the game.
Yeah, I'm thinking that if these injuries persist, that the 49ers are done for this season, that they're not making a. It's crazy because legit last week we were like, 49ers, we could see a run. The Dolphins, we could definitely see a run. Like the Eagles, we could see the Bills, we could see like all this stuff. And then like this week, it's like, oh well, and Dolphins lost to a team with a winning record. So if you can't beat a team with a winning record, you can't win the Super Bowl. Like that's just kind of how it is. Because more than like the team you play against in the Super Bowl is gonna have a winning record, I'd hope. Unless the other conference just was terrible this year.
Unless somehow they were able to get in with less than 50%.
And then yeah, like the Bills are getting exposed by all these bum teams. Bills
Bills
are.
lost to the Patriots.
It's
Disgusting.
funny because we're hitting like that kind of close, about the halfway mark of the season, and it seems like the entire everything's just like switched. We're like the first like half of the season, we're like, all right, like we're getting a good feeling for these teams. We're thinking they can make a good run, and then like right about this week, we're like, oh, the Ravens are still a team that can play. Oh, the Vikings are still a team that could play. Oh, the Jaguars are still like we're seeing all these teams who are like, oh, like sorry, we forgot that the season started. Let's start doing something.
Oh shoot, guys, we were still in our preseason era.
Right. They haven't started, like Lamar Jackson didn't start till this week, and they're like, we thought those were all preseason games. We're really sorry.
We yeah, we weren't sure what was going on. We spent a crazy week in Cancun. We forgot a lot.
But tell me about this huge Bills Patriots game.
This game was embarrassing for the Bills and all Bills fans everywhere.
Bills Mafia's
Patriots
been
are
real
just
quiet this season.
trash.
Yeah.
Patriots are just a disgustingly terrible team. Um, they lost. The Bills lost 29-25. Bills ran 11 more plays, but were only 5 of 12 on third downs. They really didn't do anything until the very end of the game when it
Yeah.
was way too late to be playing. Um, I do feel like your dad was saying, Josh Allen didn't really have time to do anything.
Right.
They were just getting right in and just getting like he needs a line and he needs help. I don't think Josh Allen is a
Well, that's
problem.
why he was so good. Like his rookie season and his sophomore season was he came into the Bills and they had an offensive line ready for him. So he comes in, he gets 3-4 seconds in the pocket. Yeah, he's gonna have plenty of time to make plays. He's never had an NFL team where he didn't have time in the pocket.
Yeah, he only had he was 27 of 41, which is terrible, especially for Josh Allen.
Yeah,
I didn't see most of the game, but I'm assuming it's because he would just have to throw the ball away every time, which counts
yeah.
as an incomplete pass. Like he had 2 touchdowns, they were okay. Held to less than 300 yards. I Mac Jones, 25 of 30, 272 yards and 2 touchdowns, and this
Read that next
dumbass
part.
wrote
Read that
MVP
next.
season question marks.
What? You think an MVP season? I mean, I guess.
I don't I don't
Read the
know
script.
why.
Read the script.
No. Mac Jones is complete trash, but
Ugh.
it feels like Bills don't want to really play this season, so
Well, there's the whole thing where it's like, because the Madden curse of getting injured, having a terrible season and stuff. So everyone's like, Josh Allen's Madden curse is he only plays as good as the quarterback he's playing against,
yeah.
which is honestly crazy. Like when they played the Jets, he was legit doing Zach Wilson numbers, and then like he played the Patriots, and him and Mac Jones had almost identical stats. Like it's kind of insane.
And then they kill the Dolphins like it's nothing.
Yeah, because he played as good as Tua. Tua's a good quarterback. So I mean, the Bills could make a Super Bowl run just because they'd be playing teams who have, they play like the Eagles, and and he'd be putting up Jalen Hurts. He'd be like running and jumping over dudes and throwing
You're
for
like, where
500
do you
yards. And
get
you're just
this
like,
from?
oh, it's
He's
Jalen
just like
Hurts.
siphoning them.
He's a siphon. Gosh, yeah, I don't know, dude. That was a gross game. It was, but Cowboys had a bye week, so we don't have an update for you guys on this one. Um, they're still 4-2, but the Lions got exposed.
Well, real fast, it kind of feels like the Cowboys lost this week. I don't know why, but like
I was
they
thinking,
legit didn't even play this week, and I feel like there was a Cowboys loss this week.
I was like, only the Cowboys could feel disappointing on a bye week.
That's insane to me.
Oh my gosh! But yeah, the Lions lost 38-6 against the Ravens. Was it so much that the Lions got exposed, or that the Ravens finally like played at their like skill
No,
level?
I saw those Lions highlights, and they were
Stop.
just like, stop playing. I saw a few where like Lamar Jackson's running to the side, and he has two defenders on him, and they like right in front of him. Instead of running at him and trying to get a tackle or something, they're just like standing in front of him, like crab walking. And I'm like, go do your job. Like, what
I
are you
think I
doing?
think a lot of it was I didn't know how to handle Lamar Jackson, because normally Lamar Jackson rolls out and you're like, oh shoot, like he's gonna run, we got to get there, and then he would just plant his feet and just throw a bomb to the middle of the field, and that's what I was talking about, where he would roll out, stop, and throw it. And because he started to roll out, the whole defense was like, oh, Lamar's running. We got to get there. And then he'd stop and they'd be like, oh, shoot. And just right in the center of the field, 20, 30 yards away, is just, Zay Flowers or Zay Jones. I don't remember. Zay
That was
Flowers. Zay Jones, I think, is Jaguars. Um, Zay Flowers would just be sitting there just, hey, guys, can I have the ball?
guys. I'm
And
open.
so, like, it was destroying the Lions defense. And not that the Lions had like a good pass defense in the first place, but yeah, it was gross. So they got to get that pass defense fixed if they're going to make any sort of playoff run.
Yeah, Lions suck.
Okay, anyways.
Glad they lost. Bears up though, so
But let's wrap up this
I
news
bet
around
the
the
Bears
world here.
wouldn't have lost like that.
Okay, anyways. The Women's National Basketball Association has finished their finals. The Aces finish off the Liberty 70-69 to win the finals. This is the first WNBA team to go back to back since 2002 for championships, which is kind of crazy.
That's after I was born.
It is after you're born. What's crazy is I watched like the end of that game. The Liberty had like a wide open 3-pointer to win the game, and it just airballed it.
I was gonna say probably didn't even get to the rim.
Yeah, it was insane. But Aces spread out their points, 11, 10, 24, 16, 7, and 2. So, they spread it out a little bit. But Asia Wilson had 24 points and 16 rebounds, which is
Putting up
insane. Putting up.
oh my god, I'm blanking on his name.
Draymond Green.
No, Denver.
Jokic numbers?
Jokic.
Yeah, with like no
Put up
assists, but
Jokic
yeah,
numbers.
for real. As for baseball, Rangers beat the
Oswald
Astros in Game 7
called it.
to move on to the World Series. And Phillies and Diamondbacks are tied 3-3 with Game 7 tonight. So we will have our World Series teams figured out by this evening.
I think I said Phillies, so
feel like you
I
did.
think.
I don't remember.
I'll have to go back and watch that episode.
Champions League match day 3 is today, Tuesday. So we don't have anything for you guys. Maybe next week. Probably next week. Most likely next week. Then NBA kicks off tonight, the 24th. So when you guys are listening to this, it'll be yesterday for you guys. But big games. We got Nuggets, Lakers, and Suns, Warriors. Lots to report on for you guys for next week. So make sure to tune in next week to get your takes on all that.
Get wet with us.
What the heck? Why do you say things?
I'm a silly boy.
You want to let them know, Cullen, about some NFL games to keep an eye out for?
Let them know. Okay.
You let them know.
Bengals, 49ers. I think that will. It could be a good matchup. Bengals coming off a bye week. They've been playing a lot better than the start of the season. So, and 49ers have been doing trash. So it could potentially be a good game. Could be high scoring if the 49ers remember how to play by then. Chiefs Broncos rematch. We talked about it a little bit. I do believe the Chiefs will win. Get that full season on the Broncos.
Thanks.
Could potentially be a good game though if the Broncos decide to fully play. Bears Chargers.
I think it'll be a fun game, hopefully.
I think it will be a decent game. I'm hoping Bears, at least if they lose, I hope they at least give it a good shot. I think if they're able to hold off Max Crosby, they can hold off Chargers. The main thing is Bears defense has to step it up against an elite passing game. Rams versus Cowboys. That should be a good matchup. Again, Cowboys coming off a bye week. Rams didn't play the best this last week, so it should be interesting how both teams play. Hopefully, Rams give it a good, hard shot. And then Browns versus Seahawks. Browns have been looking okay. Defense didn't play as well last week. I think they kind of got handed the game against the Colts, but Seahawks are iffy. So I think that'll be a good game.
They're only iffy because I have their quarterback. This is how it is in fantasy. So yeah, for some college games, honestly, not too much crazy stuff going on in the top 25. Big game, probably the biggest game of the week though, is number 8 Oregon versus number 13 Utah. Oregon's the 6.5 favorite in that one. Game day is in Salt Lake City. My dad was like, "We should go to game day." So probably not going to do that, but it's kind of dope. So I think that'll be a good matchup. These are, 2 top teams. If Oregon's wanting to make that championship push, they got to win this game. So it's a huge one for them against a tough defense of Utah. So I think it'll be fun. We also got number 20 Duke versus number 18 Louisville. Louisville's a 4-point favorite in this one. These are also 2 teams who have created some upsets for some top 25 teams and are trying to maintain that top 25 spot and work their way into that top 10. So I think this will be a really fun matchup. We got number 19 Air Force versus Colorado State. Air Force is a 12-point favorite. These are 2 teams. Air Force beat Wyoming. Wyoming's playing Colorado State the following week of this matchup. So this could be a good indicator for that Wyoming-Colorado State game. Also, I just wanted to put this in there because I think it's insane that Air Force is number 19 now, and that could have been Wyoming this whole time.
Hate to see it.
Every time Air Force moves up in their rankings or whatever, I just think that that's Wyoming. That's where we would be at. So
should have been, yeah.
And then finally, we got Colorado versus number 23 UCLA. UCLA is the 17-point favorite in this game, but I think Colorado could take this. And I wanted to ask you, do you think if Colorado wins this, that they have a chance to get back in that top 25, even if it's just at number 25?
I mean, if UCLA is a minus 17
That's
and
what
Colorado
I'm thinking.
wins, I mean, I feel like if you win against a team that's supposed to beat you,
that
I
much,
feel like you should be ranked, even if it's only like 25 or something.
Yeah, same. So I think that'll be a fun matchup if Colorado does have a chance to break into the top 25 and they're looking at the game as that. then I think they'll be in there fighting. And it's always fun to see Colorado marching down the field like that.
Actually play.
Yeah. So there's some games for you guys to look out for. Next up, we got some hot takes for you guys. So as always, make sure to drop hot takes if you're listening on Spotify in the comment section at the bottom of the episode page. Or if you're watching on YouTube, drop it in the comment section there. And we would love to discuss your guys' hot takes. But this week, we got 3 to discuss. Number 1, Dolphins lost to the Eagles. Pretty disappointing game, honestly. A lot of people are saying it was a very one-sided ref calling game. But all that aside,
no calls on that.
Yeah. All that aside, can we trust the Dolphins against Dolphins? Can we trust the Dolphins against good teams? I mean, you have not beat a team with a winning record in like 390 days, I think is what the stat said when I saw it.
I don't think it's really Dolphins. I do think the refs. I saw a lot of plays from that game where I was like, that's a terrible call or a terrible no call. They were also missing a Kane, who I don't know when he'll be back. I think he's on IR.
That's a tough one for sure.
And then they were also missing Waddle. I don't remember what
they've been missing him for a minute, right?
I don't remember. I wanted to say he went out.
I don't think he played against the Broncos. I thought.
I don't remember. But I mean, they are kind of injured, and I am one of the people that are saying the refs through that game.
Yeah, there's some bad stuff.
A lot of calls and a lot of no calls where I was just like, what are you talking about right now? But
the issue is, though, the Dolphins also lost to the Bills, who the Bills are also considered a good team.
That's true.
Have the Dolphins, who have the Dolphins played this season?
The Broncos. They beat them 70-20.
We don't remember. No, we don't talk about that one.
Never forget.
Because they lost to the Bills. Let's see. They beat the Giants. They beat the Panthers. Beat the Broncos. Beat the Patriots. And beat the Chargers.
Hey, they're better than the Bills.
So they've lost to the Bills and the Eagles.
They beat the Patriots, who beat the Bills. That's all I'm saying.
Which means they're better than the Bills.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know, dude. If they want to make that run, they gotta beat teams who aren't the Panthers and the Patriots. Next question. Are the Ravens the best team in the AFC?
No, I mean the Broncos are still in the AFC.
Thank you.
I don't know. I feel like we haven't really seen the Ravens show up too much. Like
right, it's one game.
One game against the Lions. I don't think you can say they're the best in their division yet.
Yeah, that's fair. It is tough. I mean, I'm looking at the AFC list. Bills, Bengals, Browns, Broncos, Texans, Colts, Jaguars.
Chiefs,
I could see
Chargers.
Jaguars. I could see. That's a debate between the two. Chiefs, I would also say it's a debate. I could see that as more of a debate. I mean, Chiefs are definitely getting their season more under control, but they still haven't done anything crazy. I mean, they struggled against the Jets. They struggled against the Vikings. They kind of struggled against the Chargers. Like, we're not seeing the Chiefs that were blowing teams out. Raiders, I'd say better than the Ravens. I'm just kidding. Raiders, Chargers, I would say. It depends on the week. Dolphins, Patriots, Jets, Steelers, Titans. So yeah, I don't know if they're. I could also see them being the best in the AFC. I mean, AFC has not been doing anything crazy this season, so I don't know.
NFC up, baby.
Yeah, I think we easily see an NFC champion this season. Anyways, last question here we got is, do the Browns have a quarterback problem? Deshaun Watson getting hurt, and PJ Walker being
trash.
Better than Deshaun Watson, but worse than every other quarterback in the league. Do they have a quarterback problem? And do you think that's what's holding the Browns back? Like, do you think the Browns could be having a better season if they had their quarterback room under control?
I just think the Browns suck, so I don't really know where the problem is. I'm surprised they're winning games.
I know I put the what was it Browns Seahawks game in there for
Yeah,
a game to look out for, and at first I was like, oh, it's the Browns, but I was also like, well, the Browns are actually winning some surprising games. I mean, they beat the Colts.
I don't even know why, but I just hate the Browns so much. I don't even like to talk about them. I just hate everything
So
about it.
we
Maybe
can
it's
move
just
on.
because like
We
it's
can move
just
on.
their helmet and logo and everything is
We
just
can move
so
on. I'm sorry.
boring.
I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to trigger you.
Didn't mean to
Oh
turn you on.
my gosh. As always, though, make sure to drop some hot takes for us to discuss. We love hearing people's opinions and telling them how wrong they are. But we had some crazy things happen this week, so I wanted to toss in an extra segment here for you guys of just some wild facts that occurred this weekend. Mainly because Bill Belichick hits 300 regular season wins after beating the Bills.
Oh,
He's the third coach in the NFL to do that after Don Shula with 328 and George Hallis with
oh,
318.
oh, oh.
Um,
It's
issue
a
is,
good day
dude,
for Bears.
right? Issue is, I don't think Belichick passes these two.
You don't think he's getting 19 wins?
How much longer do you think Belichick has as a coach?
Apparently, the head dude said he still has. They're like worked out something that he's gonna stay.
Imagine he plays 19 more seasons just to guarantee that he does it because it's just one win a season.
One win a season. I don't know if he'll be alive for the next 19 seasons.
Yeah.
So it's almost 20 years, and bro's not healthy.
Yeah, so I honestly don't know how much. If I just don't think he's got that much longer as a coach. So
Hope not.
we'll see. Because it would legit could take like 8 seasons for him to pass George Hollis with like 2 wins a season, and that's what the Patriots are basically doing now. So yeah, so another crazy fact, Lamar becomes the first player in Ravens history to finish with at least 350 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and 1 rushing touchdown in a game.
Light work.
Bro had a day. I could have swore this happened like already for him, but I think it's the 3 passing touchdowns that's probably held him back.
Probably at 350 passing yards that's held him back.
I do that on the daily.
He doesn't. He mainly rushes it.
True. Another fact for you guys, Colts tied their franchise record for most points scored in a loss, 38, with the last time being 1974.
It's all because Gardner Minshew threw a pick six.
That's crazy, dude. And then Mahomes
Or no,
throws 4.
fumble six, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, was it a fumble? And then Mahomes throws 4 touchdowns for the 17th time in his career, which passes Dan Marino for most in NFL history before
Most
hitting the
NFL
age
history.
of 30. Before hitting the age of 30, that's actually an insane stat.
It's because Mahomes a goat.
17 4 touchdown games.
It's crazy to think that he could have been a Bear.
Does that hurt, dude? That's like the whole like Portland Trailblazers passed over like Michael Jordan and Kevin Durant. Like
It's
like,
crazy to me to think that we wouldn't be seeing any of this because if he was a Bear, he wouldn't have.
that's so true. His career would have been done. But yeah, just some crazy facts for you guys. We'll see if there's anything crazy happening next week, and maybe we'll do this little segment again. But it is time for everyone's favorite segment, some pick'ems. We had like 6 different picks on 6 different games where we like disagreed, and we still tied.
That Browns Colts game was BS. It was
So,
awful.
we'll
Colts had that in the
we'll
bag.
get to that game. We'll get to that game.
It's the second one. Okay.
Jaguars Saints. Jaguars won, but it was a close game. Like Saints could have won that, but we both said Jaguars, so it didn't matter. I called the Browns win.
No, that was 100% a BS game. There was so many things where I was like, no, nah. I feel like it was handed to the Browns for whatever reason, but whatever.
Neither of us called the Patriots beating the Bills, which I mean, That's kind of crazy.
Did.
You called the Giants over the Commanders, though. The Giants won. That was like 14-7, I think, was the final score of that game. It's a
Yeah,
terrible
it was a
game.
terrible game. Commanders almost had it. They just like
Thought they had it.
refused to use Brian Robinson. So
Yeah.
would've been
Neither of
nice.
us called the Ravens beating the Lions, which is crazy because I know you're a Lamar fan.
Yeah, but the Lions were so good, and then they just stopped playing.
You called the Bears beating the Raiders.
Yup.
Neither of
You
us called
doubted
the
them.
Falcons beating the Buccaneers. We both called the Broncos winning, though.
Knew it.
I called the Steelers over the Rams.
That was a close game.
It was a close game.
Rams should have had it.
Yeah. I also called Seahawks over the Cardinals. We both called Chiefs.
I don't know anything about that game. What was the score? I legit don't. I thought Seahawks had a bye this week, if I'm being completely honest.
I don't remember that game at all. Seahawks won 20-10.
Okay, so not terrible. What was I smoking that day? Because why did I pick the Cardinals?
No. I think it was because you're like, I think like your exact words, you're like, Cardinals get a lot of yards, and I think they'll do it against the Seahawks or something like that. Like, I think you were talking about like their yardage, and I was like, yeah, they do get a lot of yards, but they still lose those games. Both picked Dolphins, who lost to the Eagles, and then what ended up, you secured the tie with Monday Night Football because Vikings beat the 49ers.
How is this a tie?
Because I got Browns, and then you got Giants, and then you got Bears, and then I got Steelers and Seahawks. I'm up 3-2, and then Vikings tied it.
Okay, yeah. Let me see it now.
Yeah. The way when I count them out, the way I do it is like, so like I'll be like, I got the Browns, so 1, and then you got the Giants, so 0, and then so like that. But anyways, it was a time. So we'll see how this week goes.
I'll probably win.
Buccaneers Bills.
I'm gonna stick with the Bills.
I'm taking the Buccaneers on this one. I don't know, man. The Bills have not been doing anything crazy, and everyone's talking
Bills
about
gotta
Chris
come
Evans.
back with a vengeance.
Everyone's talking about Chris Evans right now, and I want to see if the hype is real. So I'm gonna take the Bucks.
Is Chris Evans good or something?
I don't think he is. I saw one thing on a Buccaneers subreddit page.
No way.
So I'm gambling it all on that.
Okay.
Patriots Dolphins. I'm taking the Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Ain't no way the Dolphins lose to the Patriots. The Dolphins. All right.
Tyreek about to have 250 yards.
He better, dog. Jets Giants.
Jets. I don't know. What the hell?
Taking the Jets.
That's actually crazy. No. When I was doing my thing and it said MetLife and both play there, I was like, they must not play each other because how are you going to decide whose home game it is? And legit, this week they played there together.
Yeah.
That's insane. I'm going to take the Jets. I mean, it's the Giants.
Their defense is stacked. I don't think Daniel Jones is. Yeah.
Barely played.
Jaguars Steelers. This could be a good game.
I'm taking the Jags. I feel like Jags have it. Steelers are not
Jaguars
good.
struggled against the Saints.
Yeah, but I mean, you would too if you were in the NFL.
Thanks. I would. Yeah, I'd struggle against the Giants. Like
I know. That's what I was saying.
Who the Steelers beat last week? It was
the Rams.
Colts. Or was it the Rams? What was the Colts game? Colts Browns. Beat the Rams. Taking the Steelers. I'm taking some risky picks this week.
I already have fill up on you.
Yeah. Falcons Titans. Taking the Falcons.
I don't know who I want to take on that. That's a terrible game.
I mean, Bijan Robinson is like hurt, isn't he?
No one knows, and there's an investigation into it
Oh,
because
jeez.
you have to like disclose with the NFL themselves what's going
Mm-hmm.
on with the player, and if you don't play them,
Right.
I'm assuming it's for like throwing reasons. So you can't just not play like your
Yeah.
top running back and not tell them what's wrong with him in
Right. Like if the
case.
Broncos like wanted to throw in, so they're like, let's not play Russell Wilson because he's like the best player.
Yeah, like if they're like, oh, we're just playing our second stringers, and the NFL's like, no, you're not. I'm assuming that's what the investigation is for. I don't know if he'll play or not. I also don't know what the Titans have done. I'll take the Falcons. The fact that I know nothing about the Titans makes me assume that they're not doing anything.
They've not done anything crazy. Rams, Cowboys. Oh no, hang on, sorry. Texans, Panthers. Those ones are first.
Texans, I mean,
Texans,
two
yeah.
rookie QBs. Texans have been like showing up, showing out.
I think
Panthers
I'm forced to
haven't
start.
doing too
Oh
much.
no. So I can either start Geno against the Browns or Stroud against the Panthers. I think I'll start Stroud. Rams, Cowboys. This one's kind of a tough one too.
I want to say the Rams.
I'm gonna take the
Did
Cowboys.
just lose to the Panther or the Steelers.
The Steelers aren't
Coming
doing
off a
like
bye.
terrible this week or this season.
They didn't do terrible this week. I'll take the Cowboys.
Couple of Cowboy boys.
Please.
Vikings, Packers, Vikings.
Vikings. I mean, Packers
Coming off a
suck.
49ers
Vikings
win.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins about to have 400 yards.
Ooh, Saints, Colts.
I'm
gonna go Saints.
I'm gonna go Colts. I think this is a risky one. It might be my first like actual risky one, but they had a great week last week.
Ooh, Eagles, Commanders. You taking Commanders?
No.
Bro, they're
They
looking good
lost
this
to
season.
the
You should take them.
Giants.
Bro, they're looking good. Take them.
That was the Bears' first win.
Browns, Seahawks. I'm gonna take Seahawks on this one.
Do I take the Browns because they just destroyed the Colts? Or do I
Just
take the
straight up
Browns
injured
because they
Colts.
beat the 49ers?
Sounds like you're just taking the Browns either way.
Or do I take the Seahawks because it's the Browns?
That's why I took the Seahawks. I mean, the Browns are struggling. I mean, Deshaun Watson's probably not going to play.
Well, that means that they'll do better.
Which means they might win.
I'll take the Seahawks. I don't have enough confidence in the Browns. I hate the Browns. So.
All right. Broncos, Chiefs.
La, 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 la. Chiefs.
I'm gonna risk everything on this pick right here. I'm taking the Broncos. I'm gonna ride or die for them.
Yeah,
Ravens.
crazy.
Ravens, Cardinals.
Ravens, Cardinals. Ravens. Okay.
Yeah, that's an easy one. Bengals, 49ers. Oof, that's a tough
That's
one.
actually what they called me in high school.
Stop.
I'm gonna take the Bengals.
I think it's this Christian McCaffrey injury that's got me wondering.
Wondering, oh,
I'll take 49ers.
Oh, stumbling, oh.
Bears, Chargers.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the
Always taking
Bears.
the Bears.
I'm
Damn
taking
it, now we're gonna lose.
That's why I'm doing it. Raiders, Lions. Lions better not lose this.
I'll take the Lions.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Bro, we are back to a full slate of football. We are through by apocalypse and we got a full slate.
Is this 16 games? Why is there not a bye week?
Because everyone's bye weeks were like the last 2-3 weeks.
No. Bye weeks don't end until like week 15.
I don't know, bro. I'm just saying we got through it, okay?
I don't know, bro. It's like a sitcom character. It was dumb as hell.
Well, if you enjoyed that, make sure to tune in next week, as
No
it's
one
probably
enjoyed
just going to
that.
get goofier and goofier. But those are our pick'ems, so make sure to pay attention and tell us how terrible we are at our hot takes, because we are not good at this.
I'm good at it.
We'll see you guys next week.
Next week.
Bye.
Bye.